Hey, so with the new release of Pat McGrath and my uh, disinterest in it, I shall say, I wanted to come up with what I would have preferred in the Pat McGrath release. Now, I don't know if I'm going to have enough to fill up a Pat McGrath mothership, but I have been thinking about a quad and what I would want to see in a perfect quad for me. Now I apologize, a lot of these have my fingerprints all over them, so sorry about that. I did try to clean these, but then I touched them again and now I just give up. But this has so far been the best quad for me out of everything that she's made. I prefer things that are very cool toned, and I prefer things that have color to them and aren't super grungy. I like things that are bright, so bright and cool toned. And I don't think that she's come out with anything like that since Subliminal, and part of this quad. I wouldn't call either one of these cold or bright, but these two up top are. But this, while I like this and it does what I need it to do, it's not my perfect quad. So I'm going to start out making the perfect quad for me, or that I would want to see from Pat McGrath. And if I go over a quad, I might try to do a whole mothership. So if that interests you at all, then I guess follow along. So I'm going to go ahead and open all of these so that we have something to look at besides my fingerprints. All right, so maybe I'll start out with just talking through what I was originally looking for when I picked up this quad. Because I had a pretty clear idea of what I wanted. And then maybe just let me start there, because I originally thought that I wanted something that I don't think would have worked for me. There was another quad that Pat McGrath had out. It was one of the ones with the 4 shades of the special formula. And I think it was one of the Divine Odyssey ones, and I cannot remember what the name of it was, but it had a brown, and I think it had a gold and then a lighter gold, and it had a red. And originally that was very similar to what I thought I wanted. I thought I wanted a brown, a red, and then a highlighting color, like a more sparkly highlighting color, and then a lighter highlighting color for like the inner corner of your eye. And then I realized that reds don't look good on me, because I had, I think, an eyeliner pencil that I was using in the way that I was going to use my eyeshadow, and I realized that the red made me look very tired all the time. And I looked at it in a lot of different lighting, and that was true in most lighting. I would look tired with the red on. And then I think one of my friends had me try out her mothership, Divine Rose 2, which also has a pink in it like this. And I used it somewhat begrudgingly, if I remember correctly, like I would use the red underneath my eye. And it looked so good. It looked so good. I was stunned. So then I kind of went back and forth between that palette, using this color, and using the red one under my eye, and it was just so clear that this was such a much better color for me. So then I decided to not purchase that Celestial Divinity quad that I had decided on, and I was like, well then what should I get? And then this one popped up, and I was like, ooh, it has that pink, and it has a highlighting color in it that I like, and it has a brown that, while it's a little bit on the warm side, actually very on the warm side, I can still make it work. And then this one I just never use. It's a pretty color, but I don't like it. It's a little bit too warm for me, but for a Pat palette, for a Pat quad, for like your gold color, this is pretty cool toned. So it's usable. I just don't love it. But this isn't what I would put together if I had, if I could put anything together, if I could make my perfect quad, it would look a little bit different from this. But I've never actually sat down to decide, okay, well, what would I actually choose? If I could choose anything, what would I do? So I thought about doing this thought experiment. I'm pretty sure I would be keeping this pink. I like this pink quite a lot. Now, Pat has 3 of these in different palettes, or at least ones that I know of. There's this one in this quad, then there's the one in Mothership. Why do I keep on saying Mothership? Divine Rose 2. And then there's one in the Lavian Rose 6-pan. And they're all a little bit different. This one's matte. The one in Divine Rose 2 is, I swear it's this exact same color, but it is, it's a satin formula, so it looks a bit lighter on the skin because there's a sheen to it. Whereas this one looks a little bit darker on the skin because it's matte. And then the one in Lavian Rose, I can't remember if it's a matte or a satin, but I do remember that it has a little bit of a purple sheen to it, which is very pretty. I quite like that one. I don't know which of those I would choose. If I could choose any of them, I would be fine with any of them, honestly. They're all very pretty. I'd probably just keep this one, though, honestly. I like this one. I like this one quite a lot. So I guess I'm lucky that I at least have one color in my quad that I would choose to keep there if I had a choice of anything. So let's move to, let's talk about the brown next. What brown would I choose? Not this one, for sure. This is too warm. It's too chocolatey of a brown. I do quite like the brown in Subliminal, as well as the brown in Moonlit Seduction. And what I would really like is, this is actually a Bare Minerals. This is a Bare Minerals eyeshadow. And I think it's in Tiger's Eye. I think that's the name. They don't make this anymore. You know what? I just realized I'm not swatching any of these. So let's start swatching. Because I really like this. I like that it has a little bit of glitter in it, a little bit of shine. Even though I use this as a liner shadow, I don't mind that. And it shears out very, very nicely. And it's a nice, dark, rich, cool-toned color. And it actually has quite a lot of glitter in there. I don't think I ever notice it having glitter because I never use it like this. I only use it as a liner color. But that is pretty. So let's try next this color from Subliminal. Ooh. Like trying to figure out where the light's best. You know what? Let me pull this back over. There we go. That's better. Okay, so we have Bare Minerals, and we have Subliminal. Yeah, the Subliminal one is very, I consider that desaturated. So let's try Moonlit Seduction next. Actually, that looks like it has similar undertones to the Bare Minerals one. It's hard to tell with all the glitter, and they have a different texture to them. But these two are actually, I mean, this one's a little bit more red on my skin, but these look similar to me. I'm not even gonna bother with the, or well, actually, let's do all of these. So I'm gonna put this one here. Yeah, that one's a lot warmer. And then I'm running out of fingers. This is from Divine Rose 1. Yeah, it's actually very similar to the one from the quad. This is a lighter color. I'm not sure between these two which one's warmer, but they're both too warm for me. I vastly prefer these three to the first two. But you know, now that I have these on my hand, maybe I would go with Subliminal over the Moonlit Seduction. I like how dark this one is. Because here's the thing, is I'm using this color as a liner color, as an eyeliner. So I really prefer things to be very dark, but any of these three would be nice. These are a little bit warm. This is totally doable though, so I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I wouldn't choose to keep this in the quad if I could choose anything, but it's okay. All right, so keeping this, I'm just gonna say the one from Subliminal. Bleh. I'm just gonna say the one from Subliminal. But like I said, any of the three that I chose would be fine. Let's go with the highlight. So I'm gonna keep this a glittery highlight because I like having a glittery highlight in here. And then this one will be less chunky highlight. But I do like a good chunky highlight, and I have quite a few of them here. Ooh, where do I even start? Well, actually, let's start with this one. Here, I'm gonna use my other hand, so I'm gonna be a little bit awkward because I'm using my left hand now. But this is a very pretty color. I mean, look at that. Look at that. It's a silvery purple, beautiful eyeshadow. It's super cool toned, and I love that about it. And I actually, so purple isn't my color. I don't generally like purple, but purple in a sheen like this, I can really jam with. I really, really quite like it. So I don't know, this might be another one that I would keep in the quad. But I have so many other options, so let's swatch. What do I think? What would I put in there? I wouldn't put any golds in. I think my favorite gold out of Pat McGrath is probably the one from Subliminal. Although the one in Moonlit Seduction is pretty nice too. This is actually a very interesting gold. But I wouldn't ever choose a gold to put in a quad. Gold's just not my usual color when it comes to eyeshadows. So what would I choose? Actually, I don't think I would choose anything from Subliminal. I don't like, well, I like the gold enough, but I don't think I'd like any of these enough to replace this one. But you know, let's swatch. Let's just see. Maybe this one. Because I remember this being very pretty. Yeah, it has that blue flip to it. It's pink with a blue flip, which I always thought was just so mesmerizing. But I also feel like it's less useful than the one that's already in the quad because it has that pink base to it, and that can look a little bit dark. And I really like using the chunky glittery highlight to put on areas of my eyes and face where I can turn a certain way and you can't really see it. I mean, that one you can see a little bit, but you can see the pink a whole lot more. Now, what I would use this for, and what I have used this for, the one from Subliminal, is kind of as like a blush topper. Like if I'm putting highlight over a blush and I kind of want it to hide in the blush. It's really nice for that. But I don't think I'd put that in a quad. Now, if I had a full mothership to work with, a full tin pan, oh yeah, that would go in. That would 100% go in, but not in the quad. And I think, if I remember properly, this one is similar, but it doesn't have that pink base to it. Now see, that one could be more competitive because it doesn't have that pink base to it, but it has the same blue flip. I don't know. That one could replace it. But I kind of like that the one that's already in the quad has like a pink purple flip. So it goes with the pink that would be in the pan. I really like how they paired those two together. I think that was a good pairing in that. So I'm going to say no to Subliminal for my chunky highlight. But, man, Moonlit Seduction. There could be something in here that I would like better. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and skip these three because I think that they would be too dark. And this is very bronzy. This is just not something I'd use as a highlight, although I do like that color a lot. And this is gold, and if I only have 4 colors to work with, I don't want a gold. But this silver. Ooh. Now see, I like, let me get a better swatch that I didn't get a lot on there because I'm using my pinky finger. There we go. Now these do all look somewhat similar to one another. Let's see if I can get a better. Now see that silver from Moonlit Seduction? That's just it's so versatile because it's just silver. It doesn't have any sheen to it. That's a different color. So editing me here. So this shade actually does have a lavender undertone to it, but you can't really see it here. Just FYI, I was wrong. It really does just disappear when you don't see the glitter. I do like that. I like how this pairs with the pink more, I think, but I gotta say this one's more versatile. I don't know between those two which I would choose. I really don't. Well, I might not have to choose between them. I'm going to Divine Rose 1 and this color. Astral Solstice. This color. This color. I don't know what it is about it. Because here's the thing. With what I know about myself now, I would think I would like the silver one more. Because it's cooler toned. But man, there's something about Astral Solstice. It's just... it's so pretty. It's so, so pretty. It really blends in with my skin, color-wise. But it's not warm-toned in any way. I'm sorry, my camera keeps on refocusing. Ooh, this is a hard decision. What would look best with that pink? Honestly, these would all pair well with the pink if I'm being perfectly honest. But here's the thing. With the quad, I would want it to be the most versatile that it can be for me. Because it's what I would take traveling with me, and I would really only have it for eyeshadow and probably for highlight. I still don't know. I still don't know. Oh. But I will say it would be between the one that's already in the quad, the silver one from Moonlit Seduction, and Astral Solstice from Divine Rose 1. I think any of those I would be fine with. But, you know, it might depend on what's going to be in our final spot. In our inner corner highlight spot, or like my less chunky highlight, the smoother highlight. Oh, that's right, I brought this out. Oh, you know what, let's swatch this too. I don't think that this is actually going to make it into a top spot for the chunky highlight, but it is a really pretty highlighter, and I'm always very surprised that I like it because it's quite gold, although it's a silvery gold. But yeah, it's not grabbing my heartstrings the way that the other three are. But it is pretty, especially for an e.l.f. product, comparing it to Pat McGrath. It's not quite as shiny. It has a different shine to it, but it's pretty. I love that this one smells like tropical something or another. Oh, it doesn't say. I thought it said on the back what scent it was, but oh, it smells so nice. It smells like something tropical. All right, so this one has 3 contenders right now, but I want to see what else would I go for this. Definitely not this one. I don't care for this color that much. It's not my jam. It's very pretty. I mean, look at that. Look at that. It's a very pretty rose gold, almost coppery color. And you see how that would go with that red that they have in there really nicely. But it's just not a color I reach for. I'm not interested in it. So, what would I like there? Let's see. I think these two are actually the same color. So let's try. This is the Skin Sane color from Subliminal, and I believe Divine Rose 1 has the exact same color. That's very pretty. So I'm going to go out of the one from Moonlit Seduction, which I believe is a little bit lighter. Yep, it's just a little bit cooler toned. These 3 colors actually look really nice together. Let's see, so I'm not going to swatch the one from Divine Rose 1 because I'm pretty sure it's the same one from Subliminal, but there is one other color from Divine Rose 1 that I want to try, and this one's very different from the others. Oh, I'm not getting a good swatch. There we go. Or a little better. I love the pink flip to it. It's so pretty. But I don't know if that's the color I would want. Let's see, what of these goes together well? You know, it's interesting. I think I prefer the sheen on the more finely milled one. than the glittery ones. No, you can't see anything. I did not do this well. You know, I really like this pink flip. And looking at this pink flip next to that pink color, I think they would go together so beautifully. I would really like that. And here's the thing. I know I like this color on the eyes. I also like to use it as highlight on the cheekbones, especially if I'm using it as a blush topper, because it has that pink flip to it. So you can kind of put it in an area where you want to highlight, but also add a little bit more pink on top of a blush, and it can look very seamless. So I really like this, but this doesn't give the same inner corner highlight look that I would want, because of the pink flip, it has a more vibrant color. It's a little bit darker than, say, one of the Skin Sane colors. But I could use my chunky highlight instead for that. And I think instead of using this pink and purple shift color, I think I could actually go with probably the silver. I mean, I think I'd be fine with Astral Solstice as well, but I like how cool toned the silver is. And I think those could go together very nicely. Although, to be perfectly honest, if I'm going for being able to use this and just have the most versatile options, actually one of these two, like having this and then having one of these two, would probably be a more versatile option. But I like having my chunky glitter. I do like my chunky glitter. So I think I would go with this pink flip one that's very finely milled. And then I think I'd go with the silver one from Moonlit Seduction. But honestly, all of these are very pretty. All these are very, very pretty. And I wouldn't mind having any of these as well. I think all of these are quite pretty too. So if I look at this, so I would have this bright pink, I would have a cooler toned brown that's just as dark but cooler toned. I would have a bright silver here. I'd have this one from Moonlit Seduction. Or actually, let me back up. I have this bright pink that's already here. I would have, which one did I say I'd go with? So I would replace this one with the one from Subliminal, which I think these are both about the same depth of color, they're both the same darkness, but this one is much cooler toned. This one I would replace with the bright silver color from Moonlit Seduction. And then I would replace this one with the pink flip one from Divine Orders 1. You know, it's funny because I'm using one from each one of these. I guess I could have gone with a different brown than this one. I wasn't super... I didn't need either one of these, but honestly they're pretty close. I could have used either one, but that is funny. But yeah, I think that would make this quad more versatile for me. I think it would make it more enjoyable to use. And I do have to say, I love this pink flip color. That's amazing. And I do have her highlight trio, but I only use this color. I don't use the other two colors at all. But yeah, I would be super happy with that. I mean, especially if I could swap these two out. I'm pretty happy with these two colors, but if I could swap all three of these out, that would just be I would enjoy that a lot. But I don't know, that would be a really cool toned quad. So I don't know if Pat McGrath would ever come out with something like that. I don't know if that's something that would sell well. I'm guessing probably not. Especially since she hasn't really come out with anything cool toned since Subliminal. This is nowhere near as cool toned as Subliminal. I mean, these two colors are, but they also have these two in here, which make it quite warm. I'm quite happy with this quad. But if Pat McGrath were to come out with that quad as I specified, I would totally buy it. So let me know below if you have a quad that you would love to see someone put out. Let me know that below. And I hope you found this video entertaining. I don't know how this would be informative, but I hope you got something out of this. And until next time, bye.